Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Marlou and this is Main Books. And today I have my June wrap up for you guys. I just woke up. I look tired. It's very hot out, so my hair is frizzy. We love having waving hair, except for when it's hot. And then it doesn't look so good, but it's fine. We're here to talk about books, not about the way I look. So I only read 5 books this month, and I don't know. That's kind of crazy. I did read like 300 pages of a book that I didn't finish this month, so yeah. But then I also had like 100 pages left of one book, so I only read 100 pages of that. So I don't know. What can I tell you? What can I tell you? I've been occupied. That's it. Okay, the first book I read this month was Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I was very excited that this was out because I had been in a book slump last month and I just knew that Taylor was the only one who could save me now. So this book is about Joan, and she is one of the first female astronauts. And the thing is, I read Orbital a few months ago, and that ruined space for me. Like, me as an Aquarius, I cannot say that I dislike things about space now, but that book ruined it for me. I was just like, it's kind of like when you have to do something for school and you are not interested in it, but you have to learn a lot about it. It's kind of like you're fighting against it, right? Because for me, if I find something interesting, I'm gonna remember everything about it because I care. And if you don't care, you're gonna be like, I don't want to know this. And so with this book, like for example, Taylor's other book, Soto, is back. It's all about tennis. I had nothing with tennis, but reading that book, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna tennis. I mean, I didn't, because, you know, I have self-reflection and I don't think it's gonna be a good idea, but it got me hooked. So with this book, I can really see how she could get people hooked onto space, because she's good at that, getting people hooked. But I, right now, have a current like dislike for space things. Besides, for many people, being an astronaut is really cool. For me, I'm claustrophobic. I would literally die. I would rather die than be an astronaut. But okay, it's fine. Anyways, we got this love story, and it's about family and about people and about friendship, and it's wonderful. So I'm thinking I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I wanted to give it lower because of the space thing, but it's not Taylor's fault that I read Orbital. It's my fault. I shouldn't have done it, maybe. Then I could have enjoyed this book even more. But yeah, I'm so happy that she released another book. And she did it again. She's just so good at making you feel a lot of things. With characters, with friendship. It just felt really nice and cute. And I got out of my reading slump. What more could you ask? And then I read I Bet You'd Look Good in a Coffin by Katie Brent. So this is like the second book after How to Kill Men and Get Away with It. This is about a female serial killer, and she kills men who are bad. And that's just kind of like a fun book. In this book, I cannot talk about the sequel actually. Anyways, she did some things in this book, and I was like, how are you a serial killer? How are you free? You know what I mean? I was like, what the heck are you doing? So for realism, this is low. And also, can I talk about this? Think so. When you feel like someone is stalking you, right? And you are in France, right? You're an English person in France, right? And someone comes to talk to you in English, like English accent English. Why do you not have one singular thought of like, that could be the person that's stalking me? And I'm not saying that that is the person, I'm not giving spoilers, I'm just saying like, where is your survival instinct? And also she's like getting drunk and stuff. I'm like, someone is out there for you and you're just being like, ah. Honestly me, but like, what the fuck? What the fuck? So I would never say this book is like super good, but I just had a good time. It's just, silly, but also like, I don't know. 3.5 stars? 3.5 stars. And then I read The Idiot by Elif Batuman. I don't know how you pronounce this name. Yeah. I did a little rant about this last month because this book got me into a slump. Let me tell you, this book has good writing. It has very dry humor, which is fun, which is good. And there's a lot in here about languages. This is about a girl, and she's the daughter of Turkish immigrants, and she is in Harvard, and she's like studying languages and stuff. And she meets this guy, and she's like infatuated by him. Yeah. The thing is, this book is very slow. It's very the same thing over and over again. Sometimes it's really fun. Like, I really enjoyed learning about how she's like learning Russian in school, and she speaks Turkish as well. And she's like talking about how in Turkish you have to say a certain word in the sentence to show that you mean that something is an opinion or implied instead of the straight up truth. And I think that's a very interesting thing. Like, I don't know many languages, but things like that it interested me, because I'm like, wow, because the way we communicate really depends on the language we speak. And I thought that was really interesting, and that sometimes the humor was funny because it was really dry. So, but it does say that this is like easily the funniest book I've read this year. That's a stretch. I wouldn't say I laughed out loud. Like, some parts were funny, but overall it's just a really, really slow book. And it's long. It's like over 400 pages, and it's just too much. It got me into a slump because it was not something you want to just pick up and go on, and for that I don't like it. So I don't know, I'm thinking I'll give it 3 stars because I think it's good, but I also think it gave me a reading slump. It's too slow, it's too repetitive, it's too dry, maybe even. It's just, there are good things in here, but it's not enjoyable to read because of the pacing and the length. So yeah, if you want a reading slump, read this book. But I'm not saying it's a bad book. Definitely it's not a bad book. It was just not good for me. It's just not good for me. Like, with this, like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm so cool that I read this book, I'm so smart now. No, but I could read this in a few days and I had fun. And that is what reading is for me. Like, if you love to just read a book once in a while and get something out of it, then these type of books are your friend, right? But for me, I want to finish a book and start a new one, you know? The next book I read was 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. I've had this book on my TBR for years, but then every time I was like, I'm gonna buy it now, I saw someone on YouTube saying it was bad or whatever, or not bad, but like disappointing. So I ended up not buying it, and now I did buy it. And I was really happy reading this book. I don't like spicy romance, but this just had the right amount of spice, the right amount of realism in it, you know? So this is about our main character, and she's a single mother, and she writes erotica. There's this other guy, and he's also a famous author, and she used to date him in high school. So they run into each other, and you learn about their past and what they're gonna do now that they've seen each other again. I think second chance romance is not really my favorite. But with this one, I don't know, I just really love how, because they were so troubled as teens, they have such a broad level of acceptance towards each other. Like, the kind of love that is like, I'll really love you for all your flaws, you know what I mean? I just love the intensity of that. And I think they did a great job writing this. I thought it was really good. And like, it felt very realistic. So when it did get steamy, I was like, yeah, this is good, because it felt only natural that that would happen. You know, it's not like the book suddenly changed into something else. I thought it was cool. It's also, this is a funny, it has some humor in it. Like, the first sentence It's literally in the year of our Lord 2019, 32-year-old Ava Mercy nearly choked to death on a piece of gum. She'd been attempting to masturbate when the gum lodged in her throat, cutting off her air supply. I read that, I was like, I'm hooked. That's just funny, yeah. So, when am I rating this? Should I give it 4 stars? Why am I being so generous in this video? I'm gonna give it 4 stars. Yeah, crazy. And then the last book I read was The Pairing by Casey McQuiston. I read this book because for the book tournament that I'm in, the prompt of the month was reading from a non-binary author, and people recommended that book to me. And I've read 2 books by her. Well, I stopped, hated that one. I hated that book. And then Sarah Wheeler Kissed a Girl. No, it's not called that. Sarah Wheeler Kissed a Girl? Something like that. And that was like, it's fine. But what those books have in common is that they're very easy to read and they're YA, right? So imagine me putting on this audiobook thinking I'm just gonna get a cute little, I have seen the movie of Red, White, and Royal Blue. Like, I'm gonna get a cute little queer story of romance. And then this is the smuttiest book I've read all year because I don't read smut. It was okay. So this book is about our main character Theo, and I don't even know how to talk about these characters without pissing anyone off, without giving spoilers. But how could you give spoilers about a subject like this? I'm struggling. Anyways, about Theo, and they are going on a tour through Europe, and they were supposed to go a while back with a partner, and his name is Kit, and they broke up. So she goes on that trip and they run into each other on that trip. And again, second chance romance, we're back at it. Yikes. Yeah, so what's happening this entire book is that they're gonna, in whatever city they are, they're gonna hook up with people. And everyone's bisexual, everyone is hot, everyone is willing, nobody's homophobic, nobody is saying you're ugly or you're weird or there's no how realistic this book was. This book is like, oh, everyone is bisexual, everyone is young and very attractive, and we're very attractive because everyone says yes to us. Like, what? Like, what? In what world could you just go up to people and have your luck with them? You don't even know their sexuality. It doesn't really matter. I hate hookup culture. I can understand why you would do that to yourself, and this book really made it seem like that is the way of life. And I didn't like it. I was like, this whole book was like, this is not my thing. This is so not me. So yeah, there's a lot of spice scenes. There's a lot of things about wine and food. And at first I was like, it's fine, I'm learning things. But then at some point, this author calls Vincent van Gogh a fucking French painter. That's my Goodreads review. It's just 2 stars, and Vincent van Gogh is not a French painter. I'm like, the thing is, you can make mistakes. No, you cannot make mistakes. You write this book, then someone's gonna edit it, someone's gonna check it. Well, how do you not know that? I know Vincent van Gogh lived in France. Okay, I know that. He painted a lot of things in France. Okay, that does not make him a French painter. If you had said French paintings, like paintings created in France, I could have let it slide, but it didn't say that. So that I'm thinking, if you make a dumb mistake like that, then what else is wrong? What else have you taught me that I will just take blindly as the truth because you wrote it? And I'm like, you probably researched this, right? And I'm like learning things, and those are also wrong. Then I just got dumber by this book. And that pisses me off. Like, I want to say to people, I'm intelligent, I read, right? I cannot say that when the author is just like not fact-checking their shit. And it's a small thing. I know it's a small thing. I just don't like mistakes in books. Like, it's not clean. You're one Google search away from not doing that. Anyways, no. This was also like over 400 pages. Through in the middle of the story, the point of view changes. And then you get kid's story, kid's point of view. I kind of really hated it. This is really not my thing. It's really not my thing. And also, I don't know, I just had a really like reading from kid's point of view. He's just very like, he's a bisexual man, and there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely, I'm not that kind of person who's like, oh, I need straight men only. Definitely not. But the way he would talk sometimes, it's very childish, very gay, and that is fine. But it gave me the ick. It gave me the ick, and it was like, and then Theo is not much better because they were kind of, I don't know. I just don't like the kind of character that's like too tough for everything and also always wants to be on top. And I'm like, yeah, I just didn't vibe with it at all. I didn't relate to the characters at all. Yeah, okay. I would say 2 stars because I was like, I only read this for that prompt. I was fighting through it. I had to listen to it on 2 times speed for 4 hours yesterday to finish it in the month of June. That's the only reason I didn't DNF, really. It's, you know, when you're reading spies and it's just more survival modus than that it actually does something to you what it's supposed to do. You're just like, what? That's an interesting way of doing things. Yes. Okay. Fine. Anyways, hopefully I can read today in the shade. Like, it's bad enough. It's like so hot that I have to lie in the shade. That never happens. It's a lot. It's very hot. I'm like sitting inside. I'm getting hot. But yeah, hopefully in July I can read some more. And but overall, good reading month. I had mostly enjoyed my time with the books. And if you really like the last book, a lot of people do. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. I think there's a certain audience for it, and that audience wasn't me, and that's cool. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you have any recommendations for me, as always, feel free to let me know. If you've read any of these books, also let me know. And enjoy your summer if you are on this part of the earth. And I'd love to see you next time. Don't forget to check my description for all my other social medias and stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love to see you next time. Bye!